Hello and welcome to my first acrylic painting tutorial. This is the picture we're going to be painting today. In order to make my sketch, I use the grid method. So the first thing I do is look up grid drawing tool and then upload the photo that I want to draw. The smaller the boxes you make, the more accurate your picture is going to get. Once you've downloaded your image with the grid, it helps to number the boxes. You then just draw the grid on a regular piece of paper and draw whatever is in each box. I like to use the grid method when painting because it helps me get a really accurate sketch quickly instead of spending a bunch of time perfecting my drawing. If you want to just freehand your drawing, you can just skip this step altogether. Once you're finished your drawing, you're going to want to take a softer pencil, I'm using 2B, and then color in the back of the paper. Once that's done, we're going to transfer our sketch to the canvas by placing our paper with the colored side on the canvas and tape it on there really well. Now you just trace your drawing. I use a blue pen so that it's easier to tell where I've gone over. Once you're finished, you can take off your paper and your sketch will be transferred to your canvas. This is kind of what my painting setup looks like. I have my paint, my water, my brushes, and a rag to dry my brushes on. Here's a list of all the colors that I'm going to be using for this painting. The paint and the brushes that I use are linked in my bio. Here's just another view of my setup. The first thing I do when I start my paintings is mix colors to get the darkest color I'm going to use. I don't actually use black in any of my paintings, I just mix colors to get black. If you want to get dark colors, then you're going to want to mix opposite colors on the color wheel. If you want to get black, you're going to want to mix red, blue, and yellow. I don't want black for my painting right now, so I'm just mixing red and blue and a little bit of green. Now that I have my darkest color, I'm just placing it all on the darkest parts of the picture. I'm going to start mixing some skin tones. I'm going to take my burnt umber and place it right beside my darkest color and then just mix it until I get a color that I want for the portrait. At this point, you can just place it onto your canvas. Don't worry so much about blending and just work up to those lighter colors. Once you're done with this, your painting's gonna look scary, but don't worry because we're gonna blend it all in after. So to start blending, I'm gonna mix my darkest color again. Now I'm going to clean my brush. So to make my transition colors, I'm going to take the burnt umber and mix that right beside my darkest color. Then I'm going to take that and place it right beside my lightest color and mix a transition shade for that as well. I wanted a bit more of a pink tone, so I'm just taking some of that magenta and mixing it into the colors that I already have. Now I'm just placing those pink tones wherever I see them on the reference. Now that I want a lighter shade, I'm gonna mix it into the lightest color. You can add some water if it's too dry, and then that gives me a nice transition shade. I'm just placing on those lighter colors, and then once I'm ready to blend them in, then I'll take my dirty brush and mix it into the darker colors so that I get a nice transition shade, and then it will just make it easier to blend. Another way that I blend the colors is to take a clean damp brush and just use the texture of the canvas to help me blend the colors together. I kind of just keep repeating these steps of mixing transition shades and blending the colors until I get the finished product that I want, and then leave the finer details until the end. I'm just going to show you again how I mix those transition shades. So I'm just taking that darker color and mixing it in with the medium color, and that gives me a nice transition shade. I'm then just going to place it in between them and then work the brush with the texture of the canvas to mix them together. At this point, I've cleaned my brush, and then I'm just using that clean damp brush to blend further. Now that I want a transition color into the lightest part, I'm going to take white and mix it into that medium shade, and then I'm going to use that to blend. I'm just going to repeat that until I build up to that lightest color. For the jacket, I'm just going to repeat the exact same steps. So that's the end of my tutorial. I really hope it helped even a little bit. To be honest, I don't really know what I'm doing when I'm painting, but I've had a lot of requests for a tutorial, so I did my best to figure it out. If you painted along with me, please send a picture on Instagram. I'd love to see it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, comment them below and I'll try my best to answer them. Bye!